I'm Becca.
I'm Lexi.
I'm Callie.
I'm Jack.
And we're doing Chapter 1. Issue 1. Do you guys know what the Greek definition of geography means?
No.
You want to know what it means?
No.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm going to tell you anyway. It means to right earth, which makes no sense, but that's okay. 2 simple questions that human geographers ask each other are: where are people and activities found on Earth, and why are they found there?
Well, why are they?
I don't know. That's for geographers.
And for Dr. Edge to tell us.
So, the most important method of answering these are, can you guess it?
No.
Dora.
Maps.
Maps! Because he's the map.
Cartography.
Is early map making, and there's 2 purposes for it. Can you guess?
No.
Can you guess?
No.
Reference tools, which is like the shortest routes and how to avoid traffic, so making sure you're not late to school every morning. And communication tools, which is the distribution of human action. The most important people in early cartography are super important to us. Like
Really?
Eratosthenes.
Who's
Who's that?
He was the first person to use the word geography. Or Ptolemy.
What's
Who's
that?
Who's that?
He made the first map. Or Waldseemüller.
Who's that?
He made the first map, including, can you guess it?
The America.
The Americas. Or Ortelius, who made the first modern atlas that we're still using today.
Cool.
Lit.
In contemporary map making, it's referred to as the most essential way for geographers to display geographic information and explanations. And they use this thing called a map scale. Do you guys know what that is?
Yes.
What is it?
It's a map scale.
Good.
It's the level and amount of area covered.
And it refers to the relationship of a feature's size on a map to its actual size.
Oh.
And you have to have a ratio or a fraction, which is the numerical ratio between distance on the map and the Earth's surface. And when you think about it, it's like the larger the scale, the more specific the map is. So if like you have a really big scale, it's probably like a city. That makes sense. Written scale describes the distance with words. And geographic scale is like the bar line that shows the distance. And now we're on to projection, which is transferring locations from Earth's surface onto a flat map, which means 3D to 2D. Because of projection, because it's going from 3D to 2D, there's going to be distortion. Shape can be distorted, distance can be more or less, and relative size in comparison to other places can be wrong, and direction can also be off. You want this? Okay. 3 types of projections, and all have errors or faults. Mercator, or exaggerated poles. Robinson has curved meridians, and Peters has incorrectly shaped continents, but that's the best one. That's the good one. And the geographic grid are systems of imaginary arcs across Earth, which is the longitude and latitude lines, and you have the meridian and the equator. And that's key issue 1 for you.
Okay. Look around you. You're most definitely in a place.
What's a place?
A place is a specific point on Earth distinguished by a particular characteristic.
So dungeon for this place, right?
Geographers describe a feature's place on Earth by identifying its location. There are 3 ways to identify a location:
What are they?
place name, site, and situation.
What are those?
Place name is like a toponym, which is the name given to a place on Earth. Site is the physical characteristics of the place, like climate, vegetation, latitude, and elevation. And situation is a location of a place relative to another place. And that is used for 2 reasons: finding an unfamiliar place and understanding its importance. Okay. An area on Earth is defined by 1 or more distinctive characteristics, which is a region. Got that?
You got it.
Okay. There are 3 types of regions.
What are they?
Formal,
Wow.
which is defined by boundaries like cities, states, and countries. Functional, which is around a focal point like a
City
Radio
state.
station.
Radio station. In vernacular, which is a mental map, which is a part of someone's culture.
I don't think Becca has a mental map.
You never know, Lexi.
And
Now on to you, Lexi.
in key issue 3, we learned how geographers use scale to find out how different places around the world are similar, because it's definitely not by coincidence.
How do they do it?
Well, they use scale. Scale is the relationship between the portion of Earth being studied and Earth as a whole. Got that?
You got it.
Okay.
Yes,
Geographers think about scale from either being local or global. Although geographers study every scale from the individual to the entire Earth, increasingly they are concerned with global scale patterns and processes. Geographers explain human actions at all scales, from local to global. Globalization is a force or process that involves the entire world and results in making something worldwide in scope. Now we're going to talk about globalization of economy. Well, you know, a global financial crisis began in the world.
When?
And it was when there had a big burst of a house bubble.
What?
Which means that poor people bought houses for the first time because they could actually do that instead of living in the streets. And wealthy people bought second and third homes to rent out to other people. And then the government encouraged low-income families to buy houses even though they're at risk of not repaying the loans. Because the government is mean, ladies and folks. Globalization of culture. Geographers observe that increasingly uniform cultural preferences produce uniform global landscapes of material artifacts and cultural values. For an example, we have tons of McDonald's here in the U.S., and that's why we're fat. Okay? Well, in China, they have McDonald's too, but they serve different foods. Becca owns McDonald's. She's the reason you're fat. Moving on. Do you live in a crowded neighborhood?
No.
Yes.
Well, you can describe your crowded neighborhood by density, which is
If you
the
don't live in a crowded neighborhood.
Well, then
You have a
go
low
to
density.
Okay.
Density is the frequency with which something occurs in space. So, like, you can measure the density of your neighborhood by all the people that live in houses and all the houses in your neighborhood.
People. Your world Snapchats you.
Stop it. Distribution property of pattern. The third property of distribution is pattern, which is the geometric arrangement of objects in space.
What?
You get it because they're doing geography and it's your world.
The bee flopper. Continue your issue.
See, you can look at all these maps right here on page 23 in your textbook and see pattern. Moving on. Also, there's movement by gender and movement by ethnicity. So people will move from across the world to find their ethnicity so they can fit in.
Guys, I have to go beyond.
Okay, and now there's relocation diffusion. Diffusion is a process by which a characteristic spreads across space from place to another over time. So, like, Birkenstocks, the shoes that Becca's wearing, they spread from like different places around, like high schools, like Oakland, and now everybody has Birkenstocks. Great. And you can also spread like religion. So like if you're like Christian and you go and spread your beliefs, that's
Like a missionary.
yes, that's diffusion. Good job, Callie. Okay, and then there's stimulus diffusion, which is the spread of an underlying principle, even though a characteristic itself appears fails to diffuse. For example, innovative features of Apple's iPhone. So like iOS 11, which hasn't come out yet because maybe it failed, and that's stimulus diffusion. Hey, stranger danger. Moving on to lesson 4.
Okay, well, in lesson 4, it talks about sustainability.
What?
Sustainability.
What's that?
It is the use of Earth's natural resources in ways that ensure availability in the future.
So like trees And like oxygen and breathing.
Yes. This is accomplished through a combination of environmental, economic, and social actions.
Drink.
So
You're thirsty.
there are resources from the earth that are renewable and non-renewable. Y'all know what those are?
Tell us about them, Jackie.
Renewable is where they're renewable. So that's pretty self-explanatory.
So,
Water.
water
No.
and slight.
Keep going, Jack.
Okay, and
You're
then
not funny.
non-renewable resources are resources that cannot be renewed. So when they're gone, they're actually gone. Okay, and then next, Earth comprises 4 physical systems: the atmosphere, hydrosphere, lithosphere, and biosphere.
Hey, Matthew.
Want to be in our
I'm making
video?
a video.
Come be in our video. Phil, come here. Yes,
Just be
come
an
here.
example.
Come here.
Where
You're
were
taking
you?
long enough
Okay,
already.
bye.
Hey, those crutches are a renewable resource. Same here.
Okay, well, so yeah, so there are 4 physical systems: the atmosphere, hydrosphere, lithosphere, and biosphere. Next, an ecosystem comprises a group of living organisms in
Girl, that smells bad. Fix it.
their interaction with the
Dude,
atmosphere.
help me, Swamp. She was talking to you.
Okay. And their interaction with the atmosphere, lithosphere, and biosphere. And the Dutch have modified the ecosystem of their land in a more sustainable manner that has been the case in South Louisiana. So, yeah, that is key issue 4.
And we're done, guys.
Woo!
Come see.
Over the
Bye.
time.